different. This is a different one. So I'm going to give you a little backstory on it. Interesting guy. Vasily, now where's it? Oh, here it is. I'm standing right in front of it. Vasily Vasilyevich Kandinsky. He was born in Russia. I always just say, I have to say it because it's like how to remember it because it's a silly name. I'm sorry, but it is. It's pronounced with a V, even though it's W because he was Russian. Born in Moscow, wealthy family, 1866. He died in 1944. Extremely intelligent young man. He took some art classes, but he became a lawyer. He was practicing law, and he was really intelligent, very spiritual. He was gifted and talented pretty much in every way, and very conservative. He was really sharply dressed all the time. He actually wore a white suit to paint in. Neat and tidy. They said his art studio looked like it was a store because it was all arranged and displayed so perfectly that people could come in and go, I could buy any of these things. It was just, that's how he run his life. He was just organized and perfect in every way. Never thought about becoming an artist. He liked art, but it wasn't a big deal. And apparently, he had gone to an impressionist show with Claude Monet's paintings, and he thought, ooh, he didn't finish these. Why did he paint them so badly? This is horrible. I don't like this. I could do better. He quit entirely. They offered him a professorship at the university that he had been practicing law and learning. They said, become a professor. 30 years old. He's now 32. He said, no, you think I'm going to go do art. I think I'm going to become an artist because I can do better than this Claude Monet guy. So he went to Munich, Germany, of all places, to study art. Why Munich? Everybody went to France. They all went to Paris. But he decided to go to Munich, Germany, took up art lessons, and how he became, they actually give him credit for being one of the first founders of abstract art, pure abstraction. But he wrote a book about it. This is now college required reading for certain art classes. And it's called Point and Line to Plane. Plane meaning your working surface. The point is going to be like the period at the end of a sentence, or in this case, that little black dot that we were talking about. So it's not a dot, it is a point. And the point is basically to balance your composition. Because when you create abstract art, it's really hard to do, believe it or not. People will look at this and go, it's scribbles. This is a Kandinsky, this is a Kandinsky, this is a Kandinsky. Now, at first, he went through all of these different, it's amazing. If you can stay at or any time, look him up on the computer, or if you can stay for the slideshow, do, because it's the range of this guy's talent from the different styles that he went through to finally come up with his final stuff. It's just amazing. He could paint in any kind of a way that he wanted to. And he started this at 32. I mean, he just completely ditched his career, said goodbye to his family. His wife was not pleased. She said, bye-bye, go to Munich. I'm not going to go with you. They divorced. He went to Munich. He met another girl. Then he married somebody else later on. But he was just busy and all around. Played the violin perfectly by the time he was 9. So he was really talented. And he had a condition called what is it? I have it written down. I always forget this word. It's an actual condition that people get. Synthesism, I think, is what it's called. And it's when two of your senses are connected, or interconnected. And it's called synesthesia. That's what it is. Synesthesia is a condition where two of your senses are intertwined. So like sight and hearing. So when he saw colors, he would hear certain musical notes, or if he heard music, he would see colors in his mind. And he realized it came to this big crescendo when he was watching a New Year's Eve concert with a whole orchestra, and he said he watched this like color show in his mind the whole time that he was listening to this music. He said it was like blue and yellow and red, and every instrument had its own color, but it was consistent. So every time he heard a violin, it was green. Every time he heard a French horn, it was red. Every time he heard a cello, it was blue, or whatever the colors were. But it was consistent, and then it ended with this staccato black and white design. So that's where all of this comes from, out of his mind. And he said, if you cannot paint your psyche, don't bother painting at all. And so he was just coming from a very different place. He wrote 2 books on spirituality. This is the one, The Point and Line to Plane, that's the most famous. But it basically just breaks abstraction down. And it's a simple formula. He said, just think of everything as 2 different things. Every shape, line, and color is either going to be geometric or organic. Now, that's what I've got up there. Organic, of course, is anything based on nature. A wavy line like a hair on your head, or like a leaf, or your hand, or a tree. Food, like breakfast. Then, of course, your geometric is going to be anything that is made with a ruler, a straight edge. It's going to be triangles. It's going to be the perfect geometric. If it's colored in solid, it's a geometric shape. If it's like cloudy or foggy, kind of like the little stuff that we do with the chalk, that's going to be organic, like an oil slick on water or something. So he said, just break it down to everything, make it geometric or organic, or combine the two, and simplify everything. Just make no subject. He goes, he said, art is more about abstraction anyway, so it's kind of hard to explain to little kids, but just so that you kind of know where he was coming from. He said it's more of a feeling. It's like a feeling that you get when you see a certain color. Some colors make you happy, some colors make you sad, some calm you down, some excite you, some make you rageful. He just was kind of saying how things will interact. And he said when you look at a painting, it depends on how it makes you feel. But in order for it to be art, because not just scribbles on a page are going to be art, it has to have a balanced composition. It has to have elements. So your elements are going to be either all organic things, or they're going to be all geometric, or a combination of the two within a certain area. Now this is where we kind of contradict him, because he was all about exploding off the canvas and just going out into space with his colors and lines and shapes. We kind of control it. So what we're going to do for the upper grades, these are samples, some of them, and there's 3 of them. Now if they say dinner with Kandinsky, I like breakfast. And breakfast food is kind of fun to do. Bacon and eggs are really easy. Or there's some cheese and some cherries, or a little bacon and eggs. People tend to see musical things and food in Kandinsky's paintings, which is why we go with that. Because he wasn't really thinking food, but it could be simple, little drumstick. And so what we're going to do with the little kiddos, for the smaller guys, first let's go over your supply.